In this video, we will talk about how you actually achieve financial independence, especially from the planning perspective. Because I made the experience in the last 11 years that many people fail to actually achieve financial independence because there is no strategic approach behind the investments. So let's discuss more or less on the surface level how you can actually achieve financial independence by intelligent plans and specific tools that ensure that you will have the financial independence also long term. So let's get started. Let's say you would like to be in a position at age 50 that you are financially independent. Doesn't necessarily mean that you retire, but that you know, I've made it, I'm independent now, I can enjoy life and can do whatever I like, at least regarding the profession. Second age which is important is age 62, and also age 67 is important. At age 67, you're eligible for the statutory pension. But I have to say, when I started in the finance sector 12 years ago, the entry age for statutory pension was 63, then it became 65, now it's 67, and currently they're discussing that we have to work until 70 to be eligible for statutory pension. Okay, so I wouldn't count, unfortunately, that much with the statutory pension because who knows when we actually receive it. Okay. At age 62, it makes sense to take money out of private pension because we have big tax benefits if we take money out at least at age 62. And for the age 50, you just have your savings in your investments. So theoretically, you could survive 12 years with that money until the private pension kicks in. So you buy yourself more time. Okay? So it makes a lot of sense to split your investments into assets which are for the years 50 to 62 and 62 for your whole life. In between, let's say here, you finish all your real estate loans. Tax benefits from the private pension plan can be reinvested to build more equity, to buy more apartments, to finish loans faster, or to reinvest money here if needed. Since private pension is often tax deductible, you receive partially your contribution back to your bank account, and then you can reinvest the tax refund to achieve your financial goals in the end. Why do we do it? Why do we plan it this way and not differently? Because you could also suggest, yeah, let's only buy real estate, or let's only go for any investments in ETF, for example. Well, in that case, let's think it through. If you just have investments and you have 1 million in your bank account in the end, at age 50, at age 50, you would have to ask yourself the question, how old do I become? Because this million needs to last forever. But what does forever mean? Let's say you assume that you turn 80, so you have 1 million divided by 30 years, divided by 12 months, and then you have your monthly payout. But then you turn 94 because of medical progress, and you have for 14 years no money anymore. This has actually nothing to do with financial independence, okay? If you have to tell your partner, well, I guess time on planet Earth is over because we don't have any money anymore. That should be avoided. Let's say you only have real estate assets. Well, if you only have real estate assets, it's really difficult and really unrealistic to actually achieve financial independence until age 50. Because how many apartments do you need to generate enough income after taxes? And how much time do you have until 50 to finish all these loans so you generate the full rent in your own pocket? So this is also difficult. The solution is we use different tools for different time horizons with different advantages and disadvantages. A private pension is obviously long-term, but also short-term because it gives tax benefits which can be reinvested. If we combine two different pension plans, you either have a monthly pension, monthly income for your whole life, doesn't matter how old you become, and a mix out of a lump sum payment, maybe to finish all these loans, later stage at age 62, to enjoy life in the first years, or who knows why you need this money for, okay? Investments, well, you just have your savings. When the savings are gone, they're gone. And in real estate, and this is so nice, you have two options. Either you take out the rent monthly, also for your whole life, or, for example, you sell one apartment, which would give you a lump sum. Might be a combination of both. Also depends on how much you would like to give to your children at that point, okay? So the question is, why do we do it this way and not differently? Because you need three things to actually achieve financial independence long term. First, you need high savings in your investments to achieve it at a certain age. Second, you need high monthly income so you don't have any longevity risk, so you actually have financial independence for your whole life. And third, you need high monthly income that can be even increased during retirement because of inflation, so you maintain your standards of living also long term. So how do we solve monthly income, high monthly income? Through a private pension plan. How do we solve high savings, big investment portfolio? Yeah, by investing in ETFs, mutual funds, and so on. And how do we achieve high monthly income plus income that can be increased in retirement? Real estate. And that's the reason why it's crucial to combine these options. Let's go one step further. How do you plan it? So first priority is, if you have an emergency fund already in place, first priority is saving taxes. For example, through a pension plan. Because if you don't have a tax-optimized pension plan, the taxes are gone anyway. So you lose money if you don't do it. But you have to do it anyway to achieve high monthly income. So it makes total sense. Second, you buy many apartments as soon as possible. Because this is important, that you start as early as possible buying apartments. Because the earlier you start generating profits, the earlier the real estate mortgage is finished. So it's really important to do it as soon as possible. And third priority is actually investments. Because this is luxury, okay? This is nice, totally understandable to achieve that. But before we can solve that, we have to solve this. Because otherwise, if we solve this only, then you might be at 75 without having any money. And since AI is moving more and more to medicine, it's pretty likely that all of us become definitely older or significantly older than we currently expect. So we should be careful here to make short-term decisions to say, yeah, I guess I'm turning 70 anyway, so all good, I'm planning my life only to turn 70. Yeah, might be the case. But what do you actually do if you turn 90 because of medical progress? Life is over at that point? I don't know. So what you do here is you save taxes, you reinvest the tax savings here, especially in the beginning, to build as much equity as possible, to buy as many apartments as possible. When you're in the process of buying more apartments, you have 2-3 apartments in place, then we can also talk about investing a lot. It still makes sense also to invest some money simultaneously, because the big benefit of investments are these are liquid. Because in real estate or also in a pension plan, it's not that liquid actually, okay? So always if you have higher returns, you have lower flexibility. But flexibility is also important, so we keep that here partially. Let me give you an example. Let's say you have a household budget of 3,000 euros. I already explained it in another video, but this is really important to understand it holistically. So what you do is you invest, let's say 500 to 750 in a long-term pension plan. Okay, then you invest, let's take the 750 here, you invest 200 euros to buy your first apartment before tax. After you get the interest of the mortgage back, it's even less, but let's calculate with 200. So we have 950 here used. This is for real estate. So we have 2,050 left. Now what you do with the 250, you split the 250 into saving money for real estate, building up equity to buy more apartments, especially short term, and also investments here. So what you could do in the beginning, for example, let's say you need 20,000 euros to buy one apartment, because you need 10% of the purchase price. If you buy a 2-bedroom apartment, normal apartment, just as an investment to rent it out, you need 20,000 euros, okay? If we consider a purchase price of 200. So you need 20. So now you can decide in the first place. Do you invest pretty aggressively? So you save with 2,050, 20,000 euros every year, and you buy one apartment every year, especially in the beginning. Or what you do, depends on how old you already are and what your financial goals look like. Or you say, well, I'm doing it more conservatively. I'm buying one apartment every 2 years in the beginning, over the next 10 years. So over the next 10 years, you buy 5 apartments. Still, you invest, let's say, 1,000 euros also there to build liquid assets. So you end up being in retirement with 5 apartments. Until then, you probably achieve 1,000 euros income per apartment. So we have 5,000 euros income, plus private pension, plus the investments in the account. But now you see, even that might be not sufficient for 2 people, especially if you retire in a country where you also have high living costs. Okay, so even 5 apartments might not be sufficient. So it might make sense to buy more apartments in the first place, using more of this money to buy more apartments. And then after you have 7, 8, 9, 10 apartments in place, which is easily achievable with 3,000 euros budget. You have 10 apartments in place, then we can talk about investing more money. Because in the stock market, for example. Because in the end, the 10 apartments, it won't take that much time until they cover themselves regarding the rent. Okay? So let's say you buy one apartment and 3 years later, you don't have to contribute 200 euros out of your own pocket anymore. So some money moves here in the first year, but in the next years, money moves back here to build this investment portfolio also. So you see, it's actually not that easy to achieve financial independence, especially if you don't have a proper plan behind. And this is still surface level information. Obviously, you need more information to understand everything in full detail. So if you would like to receive this really crucial information, feel free to register for a free initial consultation. We will create a holistic strategy just for you to see how we can get the most out of your situation. Take care and possibly talk to you soon.